I always say, learning never ends. You always have to continue learning. And with that said, let's test the NFT MultiVault staking smart contract. Let's go. Okay, so I hope that you pay attention on the last video because we covered the fundamentals of having MultiVault staking capabilities with an ERC20 staking smart contract that we have been building on the previous videos. Now, let's give a very powerful feature to the smart contract by allowing multiple vaults on the same smart contract. Now your end users or your NFT holders can buy different NFT collections from your marketplace or collection release or your project release, and you can offer different staking rewards based on what NFT did they buy, right? On this demonstration, what I'm going to do, we are going to code the MultiVault functionality in our NFT staking smart contract. We are going to stake two NFTs, one from collection number 1 and another one from collection number 2 in different vaults, and we are going to claim the tokens from each vault. Okay, so let's do that. Let's code the MultiVault functionality. Let's take a look at the get function commands that we are going to code that will give you more visibility onto your vault or your MultiVault staking smart contract. One thing that you're going to see, I am not going to ask you for an NFT collection nor an ERC20 token smart contract when you first deploy the staking smart contract. Instead, we are just going to deploy it. You're going to see there's not going to be any requirements to add an NFT collection nor an ERC20 token because now we have MultiVault. Now it's just going to let you deploy it. And once you deploy it, then you can start adding your vaults. And you're going to see that live because we're going to be writing that onto the smart contract. Okay, so let's make it happen. Okay, so what we need to do. So the first thing we want to do, we got to go back to Remix. And we are going to create a new file, right? But we are going to copy the existing NFT staking smart contract that you have access to on my GitHub, okay? So we'll copy that, we'll paste it in, and this is the smart contract that we are all familiar with, okay? We gotta do a couple of things. The first thing that I'm going to do, I am going to eliminate the constructor that it's going to ask me to add the collection smart contract address as well as the ERC20 token smart contract address when we first deploy the smart contract. So we want to remove that because now it's going to be MultiVault, so you can deploy the smart contract and not necessarily need to have the NFT token or the ERC20 reward smart contract because you can build multiple vaults. So that's the whole purpose. It can be updated anytime you want, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this, okay? So we are going to remove that, right? Next, what are we going to do next? So let me explain. So this is where we actually ask for those particular values before we are allowed to deploy the smart contract. So that's the constructor section in the smart contract. It's going to ask me beforehand, hey, give me the NFT ERC721 address, smart contract address, as well as give me the ERC20 token smart contract address. So we need to populate that so we can deploy the smart contract. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove that because we are no longer requiring that value to deploy the smart contract because we're going to have MultiVault. So we can deploy, we can create a vault with those particular values later. With the contract once that's deployed, you can add as many vaults as you want, okay? What are we now need to do? We need to create a struct to store, number 1, the NFT smart contract, and this is the collection smart contract address. We need to also add another entry to store the ERC20 token. This is the reward, staking rewards smart contract, okay? And finally, we can add another value such as the string. So let's say you want to add a name to each vault. You can do so by adding a string value on a struct. I can then say, struct name, and then once we call the function add vault, we can ask for a name. So let's say you have a collection name apes, and you have another collection name, I don't know, punks. We are all familiar with those. You can go ahead and add the name of the vault, and then once we build that Web3 dashboard, we can have the names displayed on our React.js web server. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one thing. I already have the entire smart contract build, but I am just going to start copy and pasting and explaining because it's going to be a little bit faster, okay? So first thing I am going to bring up to the screen, it's the struct for the vault, and I'm going to explain that right now. Let me go ahead and expand this a little bit more so you can see it. There you go. That's even better. Cool. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do, I am going to call the NFT collection smart contract as part of the vault information. So I need that information to create a vault, right? So I'm building that struct with all those variables inside of there. Okay, the next thing that I need to invoke, it's the N2D rewards token smart contract, and this is the staking smart contract, and we are just referencing that to the value of NFT. So NFT equals collection equals the collection smart contract. So it's basically going to use that as the reference for this particular value on the staking smart contract, okay? And finally, we have a string. So the string, what is the string? It's the name of the vault. So we can say ape vault, that will be vault number 1 or vault 0. So I'm going to explain the IDs, but the first vault will be vault 0. So it starts with 0. Okay, that will be the PID. If you saw the previous video, we have PID that starts with 0. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I have to allow the struct and everything that is inside as an array to be public. So I am going to inform the blockchain that this is a struct with multiple values inside. How do I do that? We are going to reference the vault info struct name. Anything inside this, it's basically an array. It assumes that you have an array of data that will be stored here. And let's make it public as vault info. So that's the caller, or that's the output that I'm going to talk to, so then I can get this particular information. So that's how I can call that inside the smart contract and say, oh yeah, you're going vault ID 0 NFT collection, and that's how you point to that particular NFT address, and so forth. So let's say you have a second vault number 1, NFT collection, token, and name. So, and that's how you can separate each vault on the same smart contract, and that's super cool. Okay, this is no longer needed, and I'm going to tell you why it's no longer needed. It's no longer needed because those are the values that I was using in the constructor to point once we deploy. But remember, we removed the constructor, so I no longer need this. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's do a little bit of cleanup here. So I can basically arrange all my mappings. Let me go ahead. I am going to arrange all my mappings above here, so we know what belongs to what, right? So this basically belongs here. And this is just me to make sure that I have everything referenced the way it should be. So basically, this is part of this, and then the stake, it's part of all this, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to just remove that. Okay, now let's continue. So the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to add a vault. Okay, so let me go ahead and copy and paste. Let's talk about this one. Okay, so I open the function name, it's add vault, and in parentheses, what we are calling, it's the collection, which we know it's part of the struct, right? And then we are opening this to be whichever the address of the NFT smart contract we are adding onto the vault. Let me repeat. Whichever value. What is the value? It's the address of the smart contract. So let's say you have collection number 1 that has a smart contract address, right? So that will be associated to this particular entry, right? You can see it right here. If you have another collection, guess what? On the second vault, it can also use the same value because at that point it's a different vault ID. So that's what it's separating each vault. It's the PID. It's the vault ID. So you have vault number 1 or vault 0. That's the first vault. Vault 0, you know, attached to a particular address. Vault 1 attached to another address, and so forth. Okay, cool. So now, same goes with rewards. So let's say you want to reuse the same token rewards for all your vaults. You just add the same smart contract onto the vault, right? And finally, the name. The name of what? Of the vault. So let's say we want to create a staking vault for the Ape NFT collection. Then you just type the name of the vault. And then once we build that Web3 interface, I can have an ABI caller that pulls the value of name, and I can display a vault on the dashboard, which is awesome. Okay, now what is it? What is public? Public is anything that I am going to interface to the smart contract from the owner wallet, from the owner of the NFT staking wallet. It can be called. So in this case, what I'll do, I'll call the function of adding the vault. I am going to say, hey, public. I'm going to be able to call this function publicly, right? And we're going to see that now. And guess what? It's just going to use the public variable, and then it's going to ask for all those parameters, which I am going to provide. I am going to provide the token or the NFT smart contract address, the token smart contract address, and the name. So we got those 3 values, okay? Next, very important. This is where a lot is going to change. What is going to change? Before, when we invoke a stake function, I only require the token ID. Okay, so I only require, when there's no MultiVault, I only need the NFT token ID in the smart contract. So I tell the NFT holder, hey, if you want to stake, what tokens do you have? You know, give me your token IDs. So I'm asking for that. However, now I need to ask for another thing. I need to know the vault ID. Okay, so then I know from which NFT collection are you trying to stake the tokens from. Interesting, right? So how do I do that? I am going to call, or I'm going to ask in the function as a attribute or as a required value that the staker must provide, right? I am going to ask for the PID. What is the PID? It's the vault ID. Once I do this, once I create the vault, I do add vault. The blockchain, once it gets processed, it's going to allocate a vault ID to that particular vault that I just created. Remember again, the first vault, it's going to be vault 0, and that's the PID, the pool ID, vault 0. Second vault, vault 1, and so forth. We keep going. Why is this important? I need to ask the end user, which NFT do you have? Like, let's say I have 3 collections in my staking dApp, right? I have 3 collections that I want to provide staking rewards to my holders. I need to make sure that they're staking in the right vault. And how do I allow that to happen? I need to ask the end user, hey, which vault? This is how it goes. You don't actually need to tell the end user that they have to input the vault ID. This is us for us to separate the vaults, okay? Okay, let me continue real quick. Now what we need to do, we need to add the following, and it's very simple. We have to tell that, please, anything that relates to the vault, right? Any information that is coming from the vault info construct, or the struct that we have here configured, right? It's going to be stored as this value, and it's going to reference the vault ID right here. That's how we called a particular vault to reference the NFTs to, right? Yeah, we got the struct here, and we're saying, hey, storage to this value, then this equals whatever the PID of the vault is. So what I'm going to do now I just need to reference the NFT ID to a particular vault, and you're going to see how I'm going to do it right now. Okay, and this will make a lot more sense. Whatever output from the stake I am looking for, right? So the stake right now, it's looking for an NFT, right? And we can see it right here. Hey, tell me what NFT do you have? And then it's looking for the wallet address of that owner to make sure that he owns the NFT, right? So it's looking for that value. But now we are giving another value. We are giving the vault ID. Now I need to look even further. I need to know the vault ID as well as the NFT ID. So let's say I bought NFT number 1 and from collection number 1, so that it's vault 0. So in this case, I need to know that I am pointing to the right vault so I can stake. Because the vault is going to check if I own an NFT from the collection the vault has been configured for, okay? So how do I do that? I am grabbing all the information from vault info struct, calling it into vault ID, referencing the vault info PID, which is the vault ID. Okay, you see, it's like kind of troubling to understand at the beginning, but you're going to understand a little bit better once I keep going down. Okay, so next, what we are going to do, we are going to talk to that vault ID, right? And I am going to now not only ask for the NFT ID, I am going to also ask for the vault ID. You see where I'm going? Now I have to like 2 hops. I have to know the vault ID and the NFT ID. So I will look for those 2 parameters. Once I get those 2 parameters, then I can see if the smart contract belongs to the NFT or your NFT belongs to the smart contract that you're trying to stake from. Okay, so that's awesome. Okay, next I am going to go and also everywhere that I am asking for the NFT ID, I have to also specify the vault ID, right? Because now it could be on a separate vault. It could be in a different place, right? And we want to allow that to be staked everywhere. Okay. Everything good so far? Awesome. Okay. Let's go and continue. What else do I need to know? Now I need to know the following. I need to know what I'm going to do next. I am going to update the same, very similar fashion that I did for the stake. I am doing the same thing for unstake and claim and all that. So then I have all the features on the function, or I have the MultiVault capability on all my functions. Okay. All right, let's go and continue on. So let's see, where do I require the vault ID next? Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me scroll down. Let's see. Okay, so I obviously need it in the onStake function because now it could be in a different vault. So what I'm going to do, I am going to also require this value right here, right? Let's call this here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in the onStake, I am calling first the address, and you can see here, account, token ID, and the block. But now I am going to call something else. I am going to call the pool ID, right? So this is the order. And I could be changing that as well, but I don't want to make too many changes on the smart contract. So all I have to do is just add another value, okay? Cool, so next. So we got that, and guess what? I also have to capture this, right? So we have to also get the vault info and store that in vault ID. And now that we have this value, well, guess what? I still have to update everywhere that it's going to ask for the NFT ID. In this case, I see it right here, right? So now we have a vault ID.nft. So now I know where I can reference the NFT being staked from. Okay, so that's done. Let's see what else. Okay, and now everything that it requires the pool ID, we need to add that. Okay, so in this case, I probably have to do it all across the board. So let's go ahead and continue. And you are going to understand once I keep doing this, why am I doing it? Because I now am adding multi-vault functionality. It could be a different vault. I'm calling the same functions, but there's a different vault, okay? So now what I have to do, I have to call the PID right here. So this is basically calling, hey, execute this request, but now I need to know the pool ID as well, because this is a requirement now that I'm specifying in the function, okay? Now let's do it the same way here. Okay, you see it right here, copy, bum, 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 bum. Now we got another one, cool. And now we do the same thing. You can see it right here, right? Cool. So we got, we're updating everywhere. Okay, let me do it here. And now let's go ahead and do it right here. Cool. And let's do the claim as well. So we got on the claim, now we got the UINT, and finally the bool if it's stake or unstake. Okay, and let's take a look and see if I need to do anything else. Of course, I need to also provide the vault info storage to the variable that I'm going to use to talk to the NFT, particular NFT contract. Okay, so we got that there. And what else? I have that token ID. And I am now looking for the vault ID .token.mint. So now I have vault ID token.mint. Okay, awesome. Now in unstake, what I'm going to do, I am going to have account token IDs and then PID, because now I need to tell the smart contract, hey, I want to unstake, but from which vault? You see, that's how we do it. Okay. And let's see, what else do I have to do? And I have to know also the, let's see, earning info. You know what? Let's leave that for the next video. In the next video, once we calculate the staking rewards, and we're going to issue multiple staking reward mechanisms, so we need to work with this. Okay, so let's leave it for the second video. Okay, so we are going to do the balance, 0 supply, NFT supply. Okay, so we got that, and vault ID, so I have to do exactly the same thing again. Let me copy that. I am going to add that inside the, because now I need to also call what? Vault ID. Because now it's referencing the NFT value inside the vault ID. So I need to know which vault am I calling to get that information. Got it? Okay. Now, next thing, tokens of owner. I am going to call this particular value again, because I need to call this everywhere. And what I'm going to do, again, vault ID. Okay. And what else? So I got that. I think it's all good. Okay, yeah, it's good, and good. And the ERC2021, yeah, we don't need to deal with that. Yeah, all good. So there you have it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am going to do a quick stake, because we are definitely making this video long, and I want to make sure that we don't spend too much time on each video. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure, let me go ahead and let me compile it and make sure that we don't run into any issues, and we'll go from there. So we are going to compile. Let's see. What do we have? It says vault info, and oh, of course, I need to know the vault ID. Of course, duh. Let me go ahead and grab it here, because I am lazy. I just want to copy and paste. Go back. And I am going to call this right here. And I am also going to call this right here. And sure enough, let's do it again. Let's cross fingers. Boom. Awesome. Compile successfully. Great. Let's do it. Because we're running out of time. Okay. So now I am going to see what it's going to ask me, okay? First, let me go ahead and deploy one collection. Instead of doing the injected, it's going to take a little bit more time. We'll do it on the next video. I'm just going to use an EVM, which is like super fast. Okay, so I'm going to deploy a collection smart contract. I deploy one collection. Let me deploy another collection. So we got 2 collections. Let me deploy 1 token, because we're going to use a single staking token reward for 2 NFT collections. Okay, we're going to deploy that. And finally, now we are going to deploy the MultiVault NFT staking smart contract. You can see now I am not being asked for a collection nor an NFT, because I can add that later. So I'm going to deploy that, and hopefully, boom, amazing. Now we got an NFT staking smart contract with multiple vaults. And guess what? The first option is add vault. What is asking it for? The NFT collection, the token, and the name. Let's do it. Let's build a vault for collection 1. Let's add the token rewards to vault number 1, and let's call this ape vault. Okay, let's just call that way. Boom, and we got confirmation. Let's add another one. Let's add a collection for this, but we are gonna keep the same ERC20 token reward on the vault, and this will be called Punk. Okay, let's transact. Boom, we got 2 vaults now. How do we know that? Oh, but first, we forgot about something. We need to allow the NFT staking smart contract to be the controller of the reward smart contract. Remember that. We need to do that. Boom, we got successful confirmation. Perfect. And also, I have to approve for all to both smart contract to my staking smart contract. So the staking smart contract can perform calls to the collection smart contract. Okay, so we're just going to say true. I approve for this collection. Let me do it the same for this second collection. And true. Boom. Amazing. Awesome. Cool. Now we are ready to go. Now let's take a look. Let's take a look. Vault info. Which one is the first vault created? Vault 0. That's the first ID. Let's type 0. Let's see what we get. Oh, NFT smart contract. That's the first ERC721 smart contract. And this is the reward token. And this is the name of the vault. Cool. Let's see vault number 2. In this case, ID number 1, because we know the first ID is 0. Call it. Ah, beautiful. We got the Punk vault, and we got a completely different NFT smart contract. Okay, so let's go back so you can see. You can see this is going to change. Vault 0, there you go, different smart contract. Vault 1, boom, different smart contract, different vault, but both of them are going to issue tokens from the same staking token. Okay, one last thing that we have to do. Let's go ahead and mint. We're gonna mint. I am going to mint to the EVM. I'm going to use my wallet, and I'm going to mint, let's say, 4 tokens from this collection. Boom, so I got 4 NFTs from collection 1. And now I am going to mint, again, using my EVM wallet. Let's mint 4 more NFTs from collection 2. Let's transact. Boom, so we got 8 NFTs in total. 4 from collection 1, 4 from collection 2. Now let's stake. Okay, so how do I do that? Let me open the stake. But now it's asking me for the vault ID. Whoa! Let's stake on the first vault, right? And I want to stake, let's say, tokens 1 and 2. So I got 2 NFTs. You know, NFT number 1 and NFT number 2. Boom! Got staked NFT 1 and NFT 2 from vault number 1. Now let's change the vault ID to the second vault. Okay? And now let's do it differently. Let's stake tokens 3 and 4. You see that? Now, I'm not grabbing 1 and 2 from collection number 2. I'm just grabbing the last 2. So I can grab 3 and 4 because I bought 4 NFTs from each collection. Okay? But now this is vault number 2, and let's see. Ah, we staked on 2 different vaults. Okay, let me see how many tokens do I have staked on the staking smart contract? 4. We got 2 in vault 1 and then 2 more in the second vault. Let's do the same thing here. We know that vault 0 is configured, vault 1 is configured. Let's see if there's another one. Guess what? It errored out because there's no third vault. I just configured 0 and vault 1. Okay. Alrighty, so let's wrap it up here. On the next video, let's go ahead and claim and let's use our testnet to know that we're getting tokens, okay? And also, let's change the reward mechanism for each vault. So vault 1 or vault 0, I mean, it's going to issue less tokens than the second vault. Let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, I'm gonna wrap it up right now. Okay, let me ask you this. Is your brain hurting? Because if it is hurting, it means that you are paying attention and you're putting the effort to learn all this. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. It takes a lot of dedication. I did not learn this from, overnight. It took me months, if not years, to know coding and know how to reference objects and stuff like that and read and interpret code, right? So keep making it happen. You're doing great. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to. It helps me a lot to continue doing this content for you guys. And on the next video, what I'm going to do, I am going to add the reward mechanism to be unique per vault, meaning that I'm going to issue less tokens on Vault 1, more tokens on Vault 2 is a better reward. Or I think per vault, we're going to give different reward mechanisms. So it's attractive for NFT buyers. And then we are going to issue another NFT vault, vault number 3. But in this vault, I'm going to do something different. I am going to issue a completely different ERC20 token smart contract. In this case, users from vault number 3 are going to get a different token as the reward for staking their crypto, as a reward for staking their NFTs. Alrighty? Awesome. So keep going, keep making it happen. Thank you so much for your comments. I am very, very grateful for those. It gets me more motivation to keep doing this content for you guys. Alrighty? All right, until the next one, let's wrap it up and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.